Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon.
Welcome back, friends, to the Beards and the Bees. I am your host, Aaron, your personal guide through backyard beekeeping. Behind the camera is the lovely Sam, and we just got back from Florida. Spent a bunch of money and time in Florida at Disney World, and we had a fantastic time. But now we're back, and so these hives, last we were in them was about 11 days ago, maybe 12, somewhere right in there. And at that time we had put another brood box on, and then we had put in frames in there that were a little damaged, and then they were going to go through there and refix all that comb and make sure that comb was how they wanted it to place stuff and stuff. So we're going to take a look at the Italians and see how they are doing with that. We're going to look at the Carniolans to see how that brood is coming up into that second box, make sure everything's there. We got to watch them because we don't know when to add that third brood box, so we got to see how far they come along. I'm assuming they've came a long way in 10 days. So, and then we're of course going to check the syrup. We had Scott stop by while we were gone to feed them. They were out of syrup. He replenished them. So that means if they're drinking syrup, they're building comb, and that's what we want. So let's get in there and let's take a look. Okay, so taking the lid off of here, Scott replaced the water. There's always going to be some that comes out before it makes the lock in the thing when it's gotten in. So we have quite a few ants in here. So what we're going to do is when we put this thing back together, I'm going to put some more cinnamon around here to keep the ants out of here and away from this thing. Not too many, but enough to, we don't want it to get any further. So we're going to start with the Carniolans. We're not going to go too in depth. Just a quick little inspection to make sure everybody's okay and everybody's happy. We're going to start with the Carniolans because as Italians get to have more numbers to them, they're becoming a little bit more, there's more guard bees to guard the hive. So there's more to protect, so it's the more aggressive that they become. Not to say that they're aggressive, but they're more aggressive than these girls right now because they have more to lose. Now it's propolizing everything together, gluing everything down like bees do. A bit of smoke. They're not really up here, but push them down even further. Go down there and fill their bellies up with smoke. Let's see what we got. Wow, it seems we have, I think we're going to be adding a box here pretty soon. I'm going to have to start hunting down some frames. This is the end frame.
Wow.
Yeah, the end frame is just almost, 90-some% filled out. And we're just putting a little bit of nectar in it right now. Nothing crazy. More bees, more things to protect. Wow, so this is our second frame out. We have eggs all over this, so keep your eye out for Mama Queen there, because there's some fresh eggs all down in here. When you smoke them, she'll usually go
there she is.
down. Oh, yeah, there she is. Rockin' Mama.
Oh.
The Midwesterner. Oh. Alright, so now that we know where she's at, let's put her over here. Safe and sound. I'm not going to go through everyone. I might lightly go through everyone, but I just want to see what they're packing in. Okay, so lots and lots of syrup. This thing is so heavy. Yeah, this thing weighs a ton. Some new eggs in there. Some honey up on the top. Honey over on this side. I want to lick it. This one over here too. Just because I know that queen's over there and I'm going to give her some distance. That way she doesn't jump onto the next frame. So a lot of cat brood. Some larvae. This must be freshly capped. Some drone larvae over here. Get in there and check that out. So everybody seems to be happy.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And then pollen, a beautiful rainbow over top of pollen and nectar. And a bunch of cat brood and honey over here. Honey on that side, honey on that side. So they are got plenty of workers coming. I'm not sure how extensive of a job Scott did. We might have to pause our video because the neighbors are coming. Hey, hey! I'm gonna put some of these frames away. We see a lot of brood, which is good, a lot of cat brood. We'll have to do a more extensive search here when we have a little bit more time to check out this bottom box and see what all they're putting down there, because I'm assuming that they're still putting brood in there, which is awesome. That means that our queen is catching up to the Italians, which is typical between these two breeds. So this is all brood, this is all brood.
So when do you think we should have another box? Today?
Well, if I gotta put a box together, basically there's all larvae in here, and larvae and cat brood on this side. So yeah, they're gonna be wanting a box pretty soon. I mean, pretty much as soon as I can get one whipped up. So I might whip one up, you know, put one together as much as I can, maybe tonight. That way I'll be ready for when they're, I think. I'll put together as much of one as I can tonight. That way, I mean, I think it's as soon as possible we need to be putting this brood box on, because what we don't want them to do is get too heavy with bees and then they'll want to swarm, and we don't want.
Yeah.
Because we want to keep all of our bees in our boxes. All right, so I'm gonna put this puppy back together. Let them go on doing their thing. Alright, so we're going to leave them back where they're going. Everything's going great. We're going to add a brood box ASAP. That's not a roar we like to hear. Hopefully our queen's all good.
What happened?
Well, you can get a sense of the bees based off of the buzz of the box. A nice calm box is going to have a nice steady hum to it. And when they get irritated or if something happens that they don't like, they're going to really start to roar and roar. It just sounds agitated. And that's kind of how they're sounding right now.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're having a problem with something I did or something, you know, the queen got rolled a little bit or something. But we're going to put them back together and hope for the best. Sam had to go 10 Henry because he's doing independent playtime and his independence is, well, it's not as structured as we would like. He's kind of well, he's a baby, to put it in the best sense. So he's right where he needs to be. So I'm going to take over camera work and the bee work from this point on. So the Italians, all right, to give a recap real quick, the Carniolans, the ones we just got through, everything was good. They're putting a lot of brood in everywhere. We didn't get into the second box because we didn't want to go that deep right now, but maybe in the next video we'll actually do a deep inspection, pull this top box off and check out what's going down in the bottom box. So light inspection today. Don't have a whole lot of time to go through the big inspection, so let's get over to this box and see how they're doing. These Italianos, we have quite a bit of syrup. We have a late bee, or a late, could be a queen bee or a queen ant. Start up our own ant colony, I'm telling you. Wait till Henry's a little bit bigger and we'll start him up an ant colony. That'll be fun. Have a new channel for that. If you guys are interested in ant colonies, check out a channel called Ants Canada. That guy's awesome. He's got some great videos. It's very entertaining, even if you don't really care about ants. It's pretty entertaining. I like this top feeder, but it does seem to kill some bees. What I don't know is if it killed bees, because it usually only kills bees when it runs out. So it's possible that it just killed the bees, and when Scott came over, he just added more to it, which is possible and totally okay. Or, you know, they could be getting in somewhere, but typically I don't have any dead bees until it's completely, totally empty, and then they find their way in here somehow through the cracks and crevices of the outside. Wow, this thing's heavy. Holy cow. I just set that in the cap. That way I know where it's at. So let's take a look. This is gonna be a really cool one. You can see they're propolising like crazy. Propolis means that's good that they're propolising a lot. That means that there's plenty of bees out getting propolis. They're usually gonna get everything else first. So let's break some of these apart. A lot of these were a hodgepodge. So some of them were some new frames, some of them were some old frames, some of them were damaged frames that we wanted them to fix, and some of them were just plain straight comb that was just like over here on the ends, plastic foundation hasn't been drawn. So let's take a look at what we got. Okay, so in the very far frame, wow, on the very far frame, they've got it all built out and are filling it with nectar. Nectar and honey. So one frame in, this was a used frame. This was a used frame that was just foundation. So you can see the foundation on this side. I haven't drawn that much, which is kind of odd that they drew this one, but not this one. So this one may have been on the end and Scott may have pulled it towards the center. If he came out, I don't know if he did an inspection or not. But. And then this one, they're getting out kind of wavy. Like if they're drawing it, but they're drawing a little wavy, which is fine. As long as it all evens out at the end. You can see all the kind of the waviness if I set it to the side like that. So, but it's also because it's only partially drawn too. Now we're getting into some heavy stuff here. Whoa, this thing is heavy. Holy cow. Oh, that's the heaviest frame I've ever picked up. Especially out of these hives. So this thing is so packed with honey. I mean, they just got this thing drawn. I can't even see the other side, and you guys can. I'm sure it's packed the same. Let's see what we got going on here. Yep, this thing is just a honey. This thing, I mean, this thing's got to be 5 to 10 pounds. Weighs as much as my dog. Little Dora, for those of you who don't know. Rat Terrier. So that's awesome. So that means we're putting stores up here. That's cool. Another thing we want to see though is some brood. I'd like to get some brood out here. So, but we haven't got to the brood. The brood stays in the middle. Then they put pollen, honey on the outside. So we're getting closer to the middle. See how we're doing. They're drawing these frames. They're reworking this comb. See how we're doing. Yeah, so check this out. This is so awesome. So right here, you can see this black area right here. This was the old comb. And then over here, which is almost level, is the new comb. See if you can see that. And they are filling this new comb out with, once again, a whole bunch of honey. So we got lots and lots of honey right now. But isn't that awesome how they're redoing that old comb? This stuff was moldy, it was dusty, it was cruddy, it was holey, there wasn't much to it. And they've turned it all into revised, new comb, put a facelift on it, and stuck a bunch of honey in there, and that is awesome. That's one of the coolest things I've seen so far. Like, oh man. You guys should go back and check out the video of my haul, my bee haul, beehive haul. I don't know what is that what I called it. Because I go through some of those frames, I think, and you can see what these frames look like. I'm sweating like a horse. Once again, another solid, heavy thing here. Okay, awesome. So here we have some eggs and then honey all over top. So a bunch of honey and some eggs. So those eggs look pretty fresh. So I'm assuming queen bee must be here somewhere. She's got to be close. So we don't want to do a squisher. So if Sam was out here, she'd find her in a second. And then this side is nothing but solid honey. So these girls are in the honey mood. And they are packing away stores, which is going to be awesome because the more storage we can pack up here in this thing, the more safe of a winter that they're going to have. So let's make sure we put this thing back correctly. And we are. See, we got the brood towards the inside, honey towards the out, just like we were expecting. Propolizing all these frames together. This is what beekeeping is about right here. Fun, awesome stuff like this. Whoa, once again, another. These things are so heavy, it's insane. I think I got a little friend on my leg. That's crazy. So this was another frame that they had rebuilt. You can see down there in the bottom, they don't even have that fully built yet. Imagine that's where they're gonna stop. But this side, see what's on this side. Honey, 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 honey. Capped honey, some not capped honey, just honey for days. Just frames and frames of honey. And I'm sure a lot of it is some, backfill from our feed, which I'm okay with, because I'm not going to be taking really much of this honey this year. A lot of the honey that I'm going to be taking this year is going to be through. I'm going to put some more boxes on top. Let them fill those boxes. Whatever they can get filled, great. I may take a couple frames of that if I can. But for as far as the syrup goes, I'm going to leave them with almost all of this honey. Like almost every drop of this stuff is going to stay in this box because I want them to use it all during the winter time. I don't want to selfishly take their honey knowing that they're going to be a little sparse in the winter time. I want them to have more than enough to go into the winter. That way is the best outcome for getting out of the winter. Frame was a frame that had some wax foundation, and they capped right onto that wax foundation. And I don't see when you don't have the black backdrop, it's really hard to see if there's any eggs. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything. I don't have a very trained eye, but as of right now, I'm not seeing anything, which is fine. It's totally fine. But with having more frames, that are already pre-drawn, all they have to do is repair the little things that are going wrong. That's like having, to replace an alternator in your car as opposed to having to replace the entire motor. So they're just so much farther ahead. Whoa! Another crazy one. Okay, so once again, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of honey. I mean, these things are so heavy. I wish you guys could feel them. It's like holding a bowling ball. This side is the same thing. So there's no brood up here anymore. They're just storing butt tons of syrup and honey. Ooh, look, check this one out. Hold on. Let me drop this frame down. So I don't see the queen up here, but I've only seen eggs on the one side. So she may very well, as soon as they smoke them, which I did smoke them, she's gonna go down typically to get away from that smoke, which is what I want her to do. Because, I like my queens like I like my wife, no smoking. So this is how it started. But this is unbelievable. I mean, we're over 70% of this thing drawn. But this is how this thing started. And you can see this will give you like an idea of the process of how they do this. Now they're actually kind of capping this kind of like a dome. So we're gonna just put this back and see how it goes. I might actually take a frame of one of these ones that are drawn a little bit more straight and set it in there. That way it gives them more of a reference guide for how they should be drawing it, which actually the other one ain't bad, but we'll do it just for fun. In the last frame, they were already on the second to last frame here. And then the last frame doesn't have a lick of anything on it. So we're not gonna be mad because of how amazing they're doing. But just to give you an idea of these frames. So you can see they got girls working on it. They're working over here, but they're just getting started. Just getting started. They're basically laying out the blueprints. All right, so we want to have a little bit more over there, even that over here. There should be one with a little cap on somewhere, a little hard hat cap. I don't see her, but I'm sure she's there. Do we dare? That's the question, is do we dare go down and see if we can find some brood further down? I'm thinking, yeah, I think I want to. I'm having a lot of fun here with all this stuff here. I think I might interchange some framage going on here. I want to put these things back where they were. I think I'm just going to leave these frames actually just like this because I want them to just kind of do how they're doing. If they feel like this is the blueprints that it needs to be, who am I to say otherwise? I am not a bee, I am a beekeeper. And it's none of my business how they want to do their hive. we're gonna go through one more box. Only because I'm super excited. I'm having a super looper, super duper duper, lots of fun. As heavy as those frames were, each one individually, collectively, they're all very heavy. Where's our fancy Jumajiggy? Jumajiggy. I know you guys can't see this far down, but I'm only pulling a couple frames. So I'm gonna pull a side frame because I want to roll my queen. So let's have to be over here. Whoa! You guys could have saw that. They are packed in. So just one box down. You can see I put this in here, which there was nothing here. I had one strip of foundation, and then they took over from the rest, and they've already put larvae on this side, and we have a lot of capped drone. A lot of brood, a lot of larvae, and some capped drone. Let's move it down the line here. But, I mean, they're already putting larvae on these far frames. You know, usually they stay towards the middle. Apparently not right now. Cat brood, honey, some larvae, more cat brood. Going through this is probably the third cycle of cat brood on this side. This thing's got honey and cat brood. Like I said, I'm not gonna go crazy on this side, but I do want to see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? See what's going on in the middle. That's where all the action is. Nice and heavy. Lots of pollen and honey. It's a nice dark, thick honey here. I mean honey. And so a lot of pollen and honey. So where's the brood? I mean, we have some brood on the outers. That means that I bet you that bottom box is full of brood. I smell bananas. They're starting to rile up. As soon as you smell bananas, you know they've released that alarm pheromone, and it's about to go down. We're getting a lot of drone brood. I'm gonna have to ask Scott about that. My bee mentor. Okay, yeah. See, there's a nice thing, a set of cap larvae. Very nice. Where's the eggs, though? Oh, see, we took some of that old frame with us. So that's a good sign. Lots and lots of cat brood. But see, look at this. Let's pull this one out. This one's nothing but like cat drone. So much dronage. So much dronage, Jonesy. That smells amazing. Look at all that drone brood. Look at that. There's so much of it. What should I do with this? What do I do with all this drones? Is that a lot? Is that a little? This side, this is like a whole frame of drones. I wonder if it's because this was a used frame and they were drones the last time. And so because it may be a little bit bigger, they were like, all right, well, let's plug some drones in there. I'm assuming any hive that is very confident with their numbers would do a lot of drones, just for the mere fact that they're doing well. They want to reproduce. That would be my guess. Let's see what's on the other side real quick. And back to honey. I have a strong inkling that she is laying a lot. There's some larvae in here, but I think she's laying mostly down in that bottom box right now as far as fresh eggs. Because there just seems to be, I mean, that box, the top box is so filled with honey. And this middle box is filled with honey and cat brood and drone brood. And this one's more some brood and some honey. Yeah, I bet you that's where she's putting all of her. I mean, she's obviously putting eggs up here, but they've been here for a while. So I think that's where she's at. I'm just gonna pull this one just because it's an old one. I like looking at the old ones. Here's some big fat cells. Yep, and they're putting more drones in over here. Well, we could either stop right here, or we could go one more box. I think I know what you guys would pick. I think you know what I want to do. I was told they hate the pop, but that I'm not positive. Holy shnikes. Some drone. Some pollen. Some empty cells. Where's my queen? She should be working this. Yeah, they're getting really riled up now. We have this whole hive off, so we are getting riled up. Brood. Brood, larva. I bet you that queen's down in here. I don't see her, but I know she's laying, and that's really all I care about. So she's laying all 3 boxes. So that's how we're gonna leave this. Let's put this back together. Lord knows they want it.
'Cause they want it that way, but they are 2 worlds apart. Speak through your behind when I say
I want it that effing way. Tell me why. Okay, so to close out, we got through those hives. You can see my extended arm because I don't have my lovely camera lady, Sam. She's tending to Henry still. But that was awesome. That was totally killer awesome. Those Italians are just, they're just going crazy. I have a little friend here too, you know, if you see him bugging me a little bit. So stirred them up crazy. I had to get out of there. I had my smoker. I had to go relight the smoker. But yeah, so many good things. So I'm gonna talk to Scott. He's my bee mentor, and I think what I want to do is add honey supers at this point. We're getting close to July. So I think they're gonna kick off the wax production once it's, now that we're getting into summertime. But I'm gonna throw a honey super on top of that, I think, and just to see how much they're gonna draw in that time. Who knows? They could draw it out for all I know. I have some already drawn comb over here. Don't mind my ugly garage. I already have some ugly drawn comb that they can redo and make that drawn comb like new. So maybe we'll do that, or maybe we'll give that to the Carneolans. Actually, I think I have enough for both. I think they can both have some of that drawn comb. I think I have several things, so I think they might both get that. Maybe we can have a little bit of honey to ourselves this year, just a little bit. Like I said, we're gonna give them the majority of it. Maybe just a little bit we can take for ourselves. So, but yeah, so that's been today's inspection. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna be, of course, keep posting these to all the bee pages. Share them to any other bee pages if you feel so inclined to. We'd love to have that. Yeah, and until next time, I'm Aaron from the Beards and the Bees, and I will see you guys in the next video.
About the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above.